right, Mike Massimino is a former NASA astronaut, serves as the senior space advisor for the Intrepid, and if that's not enough, he also teaches at Columbia University, and he's also an author. His latest book, MOONSHOT, a NASA astronaut's guide to achieving the impossible, is part inspiration, part instruction on how to achieve success, and we're delighted to welcome Mr. Massimino back to the couch this morning. Good to see you, sir.
Good to be here, Dan. Thanks for having me.
We love talking to you.
Thank you.
And we can talk to you for hours about so many things, but let's first and foremost talk about Moonshot Mike from now on. That's what we're going to call him.
Sure, whatever.
Okay, you like that nickname? Is that a good
I
nickname?
don't care. It's good. Mike's fine too. Whatever you want.
What prompted you to write this specific book?
Well, I had learned a lot at NASA. I came in as a civilian in 1996 into my astronaut class. And there was a lot of perseverance involved to getting there, but then I learned so much about what was necessary to operate successfully in space, lessons in leadership and teamwork and perseverance. And I found out that these lessons that were required for me to be successful, spacewalking on the Hubble Space Telescope and operating in a control center, they also were useful lessons just for any job you might have, whether it's here in the studio or in a cubicle or at home or dealing with your family. So I wanted to share these lessons, and that's what the book is.
I like how you also talk about overcoming obstacles, like you're afraid of heights?
Yeah, I don't like heights.
How does that work?
I never liked them. I still don't like them.
Yeah.
But as long as I'm moving, I'm okay. So in an airplane, I'm all right. In a spaceship, I was okay. It's more like looking over the side of a building. But we had to do some fairly high adventure kind of stuff in our training.
Right.
It was troubling then. But you just got to power through it. Now, I got help, actually, from people when I wasn't feeling uncomfortable to get a little extra training, build up a little confidence in that regard.
So what does that feel like in a spacesuit if you're, like, looking down?
It's different. So the Earth is so far away
you don't realize
that there's no reference. It's just like you look over a building. It's really gravity that you're worried about. It's not the height itself, but it's like, oh, I'm going to fall. And I don't like that feeling looking over a building. Like we used to do some of our stuff, rappelling and things like that. That I didn't like. But in space, you're so far away from the planet.
You don't even realize.
Yeah, you don't even.
I climbed to the top of the edge. There's that city climb thing.
Yeah,
We'll do it again. I'll do it again if you want to.
I'll climb with my eyes closed. As long as you're with me, I'll be all right.
That's what I did. You can hold my hand.
Yeah.
But you got turned down by NASA a few times.
I did.
So first off, why? And then this is where the perseverance comes in, right? Why did they turn you down, and then what kept you going back and back?
Well, you get turned down because a lot of people are trying to do it. A lot of very qualified people are trying to do this job. Thousands apply and only a handful get picked. So I knew the odds were against me. It's kind of like 1,000,000 to 1 shot, but that's not zero. As long as you try, there's always a chance. And first couple times I just got outright denied. I got a letter from them. The third time I got an interview, and then I was medically disqualified because it included a physical. I couldn't see the eye chart well enough. All these rules have changed, but back then you had to see pretty well without contacts or glasses.
Okay.
They didn't accept any medical procedure. So the only thing I could think of that might be able to help me was vision training, which was done primarily with kids. And I found an optometrist who did this and told her I could be really immature.
Wow.
And she helped me, just like she would the kids. She helped me, and I was able to pick up a couple lines on the eye chart just so I could try again. And then on my fourth try, I got another interview, and that's when I got picked.
Wow.
So as long as you try, there's a chance.
Yeah.
Obviously, these are all lessons, right? The obstacles you've overcome, the perseverance. But you, as an astronaut, what do you think is the takeaway that you got after becoming an astronaut?
I think there's a lot of things, but I think one thing to keep in mind, we're not in this alone. It requires a team. And life is very complex, and we often work away from our team. We're not always with them all the time. So I think remember that we're in this all together, and that when you need help, reach out for help, whether that's to a colleague or a family member, and I call it reaching out to mission control. When you need help, when you're struggling with something, you need to admit it to yourself and then go out and get the help that you need to be successful. And reach out to mission control when you need some help, and be mission control for others. Be that person that they can come to.
Yeah, in the book you talk about something called the 30-second rule.
Yeah.
Now, I heard of the 5-second rule, which, is
Yeah, no, don't apply it for the food on the floor. 30 seconds is way too long for dropping your food.
Right. So what is the 30-second rule?
It's something I learned on how to deal with mistakes. And so you don't want to make mistakes, but you're still going to make mistakes. And that certainly was the case for us as astronauts. And I would make a mistake before I was an astronaut, sometimes beating myself up for days. Oh man, I can't believe that happened. Just feel terrible about it. When you make a mistake in space, you don't have even a minute, really. You've got to be able to overcome this. And people tell me, leave your mistakes in the past. Get over it, leave it, get rid of it, just move on. But I never really could do that until I learned the 30-second rule. And the 30-second rule is give yourself 30 seconds of regret. It is okay to be upset with yourself and really angry with yourself. So take a 30-second timeout, beat yourself up, call yourself names, do it internally, don't voice any of this, you'll scare people. And after that 30-second internal rant, then it's time to move on from it.
I like
I
that.
found out to be very helpful.
Bless it.
And I
let
use it
go.
every day because I make a lot of mistakes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When you look at where space exploration is right now, well, how do you feel about it? Where do you want to
all
see the
the
world go?
I think
Civilians
it's pretty exciting. I think that the commercial companies now being involved, we're now seeing the possibilities. I think the real possibilities of doing things like getting back to the moon and maybe onto Mars and commercializing low Earth orbit. The government is dealing with taxpayers' dollars and always is limited in what they can accomplish. So I think what they did when they retired the shuttle program, NASA decided to try to spur on commercial innovation and economic benefit from space with the commercial crew program that they started back then. And I think now we're starting to see some of those benefits where these private companies have been very, very successful. And now that people can see opportunities to go to space, whether it's for them individually or to develop a product or try an experiment or whatever, there's opportunities. My students at Columbia have flown 2 experiments in space recently. That would be unheard of even just a couple of years ago.
Right.
So now people can think about how can I utilize space? Maybe I can go. And I think it's led to a great growth in that area. And I'm really excited. I think
But aliens,
what about them?
are they there?
I think they're somewhere. I
Okay.
do. What the Hubble Space Telescope and the James Webb has shown us, James Webb Telescope has shown us, there are billions of galaxies in our universe with billions of stars in each of the galaxies. Most of those stars have multiple planets orbiting around them.
Right.
So I think the chances are that there's life out there somewhere. There's no evidence though that we've been visited yet. We haven't gotten anything that we can say, all right, yeah, someone's here or someone's been here. We haven't, but I do think that that day is coming. Hopefully not too far in the future, where we'll discover each other.
That's the next book.
That's the next book.
the
We
next
have
book.
to see what happens. Yeah, we'll see. We got to see if it happens. That would be great.
I always love
Love to
talking
cover
you.
that one. Yeah. All right.
Good to see you. And be sure
Thanks,
to
guys.
Thank you. And be sure to pick up a copy of Moonshot wherever books are sold. Great to have you. Happy holidays to you.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Alan.